All right, today we are going to famously known place Famagusta in northern Cyprus, which was occupied by Republic of Turkey. So Turkish invasion of Cyprus began on July 20, 1974 and progressed in two phases over the following month. Taking place upon a background of intercommunal violence between Greek and Turkish Cypriots and in response to a Greek junta-sponsored Cypriot coup d'etat 5 days earlier, it led to the Turkish capture and occupation of the northern part of the island. The coup was ordered by military junta in Greece and staged by Cypriot National Guard. It deposed the Cypriot President Archbishop Makarios III and installed Nikos Samson. The aim of the coup was the union of Cyprus with Greece and the Hellenic Republic of Cyprus to be declared. The Turkish forces landed on Cyprus on July 20 and captured initially 3% of the island before a ceasefire was declared. The Greek military junta collapsed and was replaced by a civilian government, and following the breakdown of peace talks, Turkish forces enlarged their original beachhead in August 1974, resulting in the capture of approximately 40% of the island. The ceasefire line from August 1974 became the United Nations buffer zone in Cyprus and is commonly referred to as a Green Line. About 150,000 people were displaced from the northern part of the island, where Greek Cypriots had constituted 80% of the population. Over the course of the next year, roughly 60,000 Turkish Cypriots were displaced from the south to the north. The Turkish invasion ended in partition of Cyprus along the United Nations monitored Green Line, which still divides Cyprus, and the formation of de facto autonomous Turkish Cypriot administration in the north. And in 1983, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus declared independence, although Turkey is the only country that recognized it. So Turkish part of the Cyprus, northern part, used Turkish lira as a currency, and south part of Cyprus used European Union euro as a currency. So a Greek side of Cyprus is part of European Union, called Republic of Cyprus, and not part of the Schengen zone. And the Turkish side is just basically self-proclaimed independent republic, only recognized by Republic of Turkey. And so here is all the buildings that you see here. They're completely abandoned. We're in the basically ghost town. None of the renovation was done. It's completely empty place, and nobody allowed to go inside of the building because they might gonna collapse. So we just walk around and we're seeing all these abandoned places, and you can just picture how Famagusta used to be before the invasion, Turkish invasion in 1974. And it's really heartbreaking and kind of like even difficult to understand when you're looking at this empty place and you're just imagining the beautiful part of the Cyprus, this place called Famagusta, how it was before, and populated with a lot of people and a lot of tourists, and now basically you're just walking through the shadows of empty town with no soul around you. So here, Famagusta. So we are in Famagusta, northern Cyprus, that been invaded by Turkey during the Cyprus War. So northern part belongs right now to Turkey and called Northern Republic of Cyprus, which is not recognizable by any countries. So all those buildings that you see here, they're all abandoned since Turkey invaded Cyprus 1974. People not allowed to live here or enter the building because the building might gonna collapse because none of the renovation ever been done. So right now we are basically in the ghost town of Famagusta in northern Cyprus. We have to cross the checkpoint between Republic of Cyprus, which is part of European Union, and northern Cyprus, which is only recognized by Republic of Turkey.
So all those buildings you see here, they're all abandoned. Nobody lives here, and it's forbidden to allow people to enter. Before, it used to be a bustling city town. A lot of celebrities used to come here, like Elizabeth Taylor and other people, famous people, and it was very well known as a tourist destination. People were here using this place to come to relax on the beach, stay in the hotel. But right now it's a ghost town. So we're gonna show you more of this abandoned place of Famagusta.
So Cyprus was ruled by Ottoman Empire before and by United Kingdom. So in 1574-71, the mostly Greek-populated island of Cyprus was conquered by the Ottoman Empire following the Ottoman-Venetian War. After 300 years of Ottoman rule, the island and its population was leased to Britain by the Cyprus Convention, an agreement reached during the Congress of Berlin in 1878 between the United Kingdom and Ottoman Empire. On 5th of November 1914, in response to the Ottoman Empire's entry into the First World War on the side of Central Powers, the United Kingdom formally declared Cyprus a protectorate of the British Empire and later a colony, known as the British Cyprus. Article 20 of the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923 marked the end of the Turkish claim to the island. Article 21 of the treaty gave Turkish nationals ordinary resident in Cyprus the choice of leaving the island within 2 years or to remain as British subjects. As this time population of Cyprus was composed of both Greeks and Turks who identified themselves with their respective homeland. However, the elites of both communities shared the belief that they were socially more progressive and better educated and therefore distinct from the mainlanders.
So this part of Famagusta, that's where people used to come to spend their vacation and enjoy the beauty of the warm climate of Cyprus. Now, all those buildings that you can see behind me, all those hotels, they're completely abandoned, some of them destroyed during the bombing, the time Turkey invaded Cyprus in July 1974. So a lot of Greek population here have to escape and move to the south of Cyprus, and Turkish population came to the north of Cyprus, but they're not allowed to do any renovation of this part of the island, especially Famagusta, because it's still under negotiation. They want to be recognized, but nobody recognizes them. And so all these buildings right now are still empty from the time when it was invaded and bombed in 1974.
So during the second phase of the Turkish invasion of Cyprus on August 14, 1974, the Messaouria plain was overrun by Turkish tanks and Famagusta was bombed by Turkish aircraft. It took 2 days for the Turkish army to occupy the city, prior to which Famagusta's entire Greek Cypriot population had fled into surrounding fields. As a result of Turkish airstrikes, dozens of civilians died, including tourists. Unlike other parts of the Turkish-controlled area of Cyprus, Varosha suburb of Famagusta was fenced off by the Turkish army immediately after being captured and remained fenced off until October 2020, when Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus reopened some streets to visitors. Some Greek Cypriots who had fled Varosha have been allowed to view the town, and journalists have been allowed in. UN Security Council Resolution 550 from 1984 considers any attempts to settle any part of Famagusta by people other than its inhabitants as inadmissible and unjust, and calls for the transfer of this area to the administration of the United Nations. The UN Security Council Resolution 789 from 1992 also urges that with a view to the implementation of Resolution 550 from 1984, the area at present under the control of the United Nations peacekeeping forces in Cyprus be extended to include Varosha. So, before, from independence to the Turkish invasion, from independence in 1960, when Cyprus declared independence from Great Britain, to the Turkish invasion of Cyprus of 1974, Famagusta developed towards the southwest of Varosha as a well-known entertainment and tourist center. The contribution of Famagusta to the country's economic activity by 1974 far exceeded its population dimension within the country. And Greeks and Turkish Cypriots lived side by side previously and without any problem or any issues. Until now, there's still negotiations going on to kind of see the future plan for Republic of Cyprus. So what I was told by local people that it's not the Turk Cypriots to blame, but Republic of Turkey to blame that invaded illegally this part of the Cyprus. So Turk Cypriots, they all of them hold the passport of the Republic of Cyprus. So they don't have specific passport to be issued as the citizen of northern Cyprus because nobody recognized them. So they consider citizens of Republic of Cyprus, citizens of European Union, and the Turkish Cypriots, if they want to work on the Greek side of the Cyprus in the south, they allow them to go and find a job and work there, but they're not allowed to live there. So they have to come back to their home in the northern part of the Cyprus. So you can go to work and finish your job and immediately go back to your northern part, which is the Turkish part of the Cyprus. Since 1974, Greek Cypriots submitted a number of proposals within the context of bi-communal discussions for the return of Varosha suburb to UN administration, allowing the return of its previous inhabitants, requesting also the opening of Famagusta harbor for use by both communities. Varosha would have been returned to Greek Cypriot control as part of the 2004 Annan Plan, but the plan has been rejected by majority of Greek Cypriot voters. There has not been an official census since 1960, but the population of the town of Famagusta in 1974 was estimated to be around 39,000, not counting about 12,000, 15,000 persons commuting daily from the surrounding villages and suburbs to work in Famagusta. The number of people staying in the city would swell to about 90,000, 100,000 during the peak summer tourist period, with the influx of tourists from numerous European countries, mainly Britain, France, Germany, and Scandinavia. The majority of the population were Greek Cypriots, 26,500, with 8,500 Turkish Cypriots and 4,000 people from the other ethnic groups.
At one point, I thought, what it will feel like to be in the town, completely abandoned without human beings. And here I am in Famagusta, a completely abandoned ghost town, and it's really surreal to walk on the street and look at those buildings and imagining how people used to live here in the old time before the bombing started, before invasion of Cyprus by Turkey. And now you walk on the street, it's silence, quiet, not a soul of human being, just empty buildings that show the history of this beautiful part of the Cyprus.
So we're right now passing Cathedral of Saint Nicholas, which and later as Saint Sophia, and it was converted into the mosque. So built between 1298 and 1400, it was consecrated as a Catholic cathedral in 1328. The cathedral was converted into a mosque after the Ottoman Empire captured Famagusta in 1571, and it remains a mosque for this day. Othello Castle, also known as Othello Tower, is a castle in Famagusta, and it was built in 14th century by the Lusnians, probably don't know how to pronounce, who ruled the Kingdom of Cyprus to protect the port against possible enemy attacks. It was also used as the main entrance to Famagusta. It used to be called Impenetrable Fortress due to it being nearly impossible to attack because of very deep ditches surrounding it. After Cyprus was sold to the Republic of Venice, the castle square towers were replaced with circular ones to suit more modern artillery. After these modifications, a relief of the Lion of St. Mark was engraved above the castle main entrance. The name of Captain Niccolo Foscari, who directed the alteration to the castle, and the date 1492 are inscribed near the relief. Apparently, Leonardo da Vinci advised their refurbishment in 1481. The castle gets its name from Shakespeare's famous play Othello, which is set in a harbor town in Cyprus. When Cyprus was ruled by Britain, British colonial policies such as the principle of divide and rule promoted ethnic polarization as a strategy to reduce the threat to colonial control. For example, when Greek Cypriots rebelled in the 1950s, the colonial office expanded the size of the auxiliary police and in September 1955 established a special mobile reserve, which was made up exclusively of Turkish Cypriots. This and similar practices contributed to intercommunal animosity between Greek Cypriots and Turk Cypriots. I just hope that the problem of Cyprus will be resolved and to show that people, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, can be friends and live together. And I hope that Cyprus will be proclaimed as one republic.